Let's proceed. The agenda is in front of all of us. Having opened the meeting and welcome to everybody. The agenda is in front of all of us is standard. Is there anybody who wants to propose change of the agenda? An amendment, removal, addition of items?
No, Chair.
No.
You can continue.
Thank you very much. Can we have someone moving that the agenda be adopted?
BP moves for the adoption of the agenda, Chairperson.
Nyambi second, Mama, Chairperson.
Okay, Nyambi
Recording
second.
in progress.
No, thank you very much. Can we find out if there are any apologies? Advocate?
Chair, I do not have any apologies.
None. Okay. The Chief Whip?
I
No
wouldn't say.
apologies
Thank
that
you.
you're
No.
aware of.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not audible, Chief Whip. Go on. We're not audible. I guess there are no apologies.
Okay. No, Chair. Yes.
No, thank you very much. Let's move on then to item 4. Consideration of the minutes. We'll start with minutes of the 5th of August, and then move to the minutes of the 2nd of September. Let's start with minutes corrections, page 1. Page 2. Any corrections on page 2? Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Any corrections? None. Page 5 is the last page. There being no corrections, can someone move then for the adoption of these minutes so that the record that there's a true reflection of what transpired at the previous meeting? Any
I
more?
move, Chair. Ngwenya.
Ngwenya moves.
BP second, Chair.
Who's seconding?
The BP.
PB seconds, yeah. Well, thank you very much. So there we are. Can we then quickly look at the action list in relation to these minutes? The minutes of the 5th of August. Page 1. No, sorry. Why don't we get Advocate to quickly just take us through?
Thank you very much, Chair. The implementation schedule for the minutes of the 5th of August has been distributed. And it says follows, Chair. On the 17th to the 19th of August, we had committee oversight. Then on the 20th of August, we had Women's Charter for Accelerated Development. On the 24th of August, we had ministerial briefing session on youth poverty and unemployment. On the 25th of August, we had a sitting, the debate on the recent public violence, looting and destruction of property. Then on the 26th of August, we had a sitting, questions to the Deputy President. On On the 27th of August, we had Women's Parliament. On the 31st of August, we had Ministerial Briefing Session on vaccination program, including the expansion and acceleration of the vaccination program. Then on the 1st of September, we had a sitting, the debate on township economy. That was the end of it, Chair. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Any comment? That was a brief report on what transpired.
A comment, Chair, is that we do have consistency on our program. So our program is executed as planned.
Yes, okay. No, thank you very much. We should keep at that, and then of course, obviously, if sometimes we're ahead of our program, keep on noting that, and ensure that everybody is kept on board on developments. Thank you very much. The second set of minutes is the minutes dated the 2nd of September. I guess everybody has the copy. We'll go through the same motion again, the same process. Corrections on page 1. Any corrections
Yeah.
on page 2? Sorry?
Chairperson, I did send in an apology for that one.
Okay. Yeah, it will be reflected on the book and apologies. Like I can see your name is not there and apologies. So it may be a good idea to ensure that that correction is made. So should note Dango's apology and apology. Page 2 corrections. Besides Dango's apology. Or maybe we should ask the question, Secretary of the NCOP. Did Dango submit his apology?
He
So I
did.
don't assume anything.
Honorable Dango has honored, Chair. He did submit his
He did.
apology.
Thank
Yes,
you very
honored.
much.
Yes.
So it should be noted then under apologies.
We apologize, Chair, to Honorable Dango.
I must
Nope.
apologize to the ambassador. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Any corrections on page 2? Page except the last sentence there says the 2021 NSOP that term program was adopted. It says programs was. It should be program, I guess. That's the S, yeah. On page 3, any corrections on page 3? It's very closure. Thank you very much. Of course, what we need to do is to just check that all of these minutes are truly signed and that the copies are then arranged accordingly in terms of signing and then filing and so on. Okay. There being no corrections, can we have someone moving for adoption and someone seconding that this minutes be
Move,
Uh,
Chair.
BP
Ngwenya.
second. BP second.
Ngwenya moves and BB seconds. So this minutes are then a true reflection of what transpired at our previous meeting. let's look at the action list. Advocate.
Thank you very much, Chair. On the 2nd of September, we had a sitting and we had a debate on Heritage Month. Then the order of the day was a consideration of the report of the Select Committee on land reform, environment, mineral resources, and energy, on legislation relating to the draft norms and standards for the trophy hunting of leopards in South Africa. We then had a ministerial briefing on the 7th of September, which was on infrastructure accelerating the implementation of the National Infrastructure Plan for Employment, Creation, and Development. That was a hybrid ministerial briefing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any comment? No comment. There being no comment, we will then move on to the next item of the agenda. And that item is item 6, parliamentary program. Honorable Njadu.
Good morning, Chairperson, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Chief Whip, Honorable Chairs of the House, Chairs of Chairs, and Honorable Members. Good morning. Chairperson, the National Council program, the last part of the third term, and also will be reflecting on the fourth term. The third term reflection, Chairperson, will be today as the 9th of September. We start there from the 9th. That we are having our programming committee now this morning at 8:30. And then we followed by caucus. And then after that, we'll be having a plenary in the afternoon, which will be a debate on the devolution of the police service. And then tomorrow, Friday, we'll be having the visual launch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary chapter, which will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock. That will be the end of this week, Chairperson. Then, Chairperson, next week will be committees for the whole week. And then committees are then to only those committees that will be having urgent matters and interventions that will be looking in terms of having meetings. So the whole week will be committees. Then, Chairperson, that will be the last week of the third term 2021 of the National Council of Provinces program. Then followed by the constituency period will start on the 20th of September to the 2nd of November. Then when we come back, the elections will be on the 1st of November. We will be coming back on the 2nd of November for the fourth term, which will be the whole week. We'll be focusing on committees for that week after the elections. Then in the second week, Chairperson will be from the 9th of November, will be committees of chairpersons. Then in the morning 8:30, then we will have at 10 o'clock, we'll have the ministerial briefing session on the fiscal and economic impact of the recent public violence. Then that is on the 9th of November. Then on the 11th of November, we'll be programming at 8:30.
Yes.
Am I audible, Chair? Yeah, and then at 10 o'clock.
Yes, audible.
10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we will have a caucus. And then in the afternoon, we'll have a plenary, which will be hybrid, which will be debate on teenage pregnancy. That is the 11th of November. And then we will then on the 16th of November have a ministerial briefing at 10 o'clock, session on schools dropout. Then on the 17th of November, we will be having a plenary at 2 o'clock, the debate on the positioning of state-owned enterprises. And then on the 18th of November, we'll have caucus in the morning, and then we'll have a plenary, which will be the consideration of the Select Committee of Finance report and revised fiscal framework and revenue proposals. And then we'll then go to the 23rd of November. The 23rd of November, chairperson will be plenary in the morning, 10 o'clock, which will be hybrid, which will be questions to cluster 2A, which is basic education and higher education. Then we'll have then a caucus, and then have plenary on the 25th. Yeah, the 25th of November, we'll have caucus in the morning, and then we'll have a plenary in the afternoon, which will be questions to cluster 2B, which is health and social development. And then on the 30th of November, we'll have then a plenary hybrid, which will be questions to cluster 2C, which is sports, arts and culture, human settlement, and water and sanitation. On the 1st of December, we'll have a plenary in the afternoon, which will be the debate on the division of revenue, second amendment bill. And then on the 2nd of December, we'll be having a caucus. Then on the 7th of November, we'll have a plenary hybrid at 10 o'clock, which will be an annual address of the Deputy President. Then on the 9th of December, we'll have caucus. And then on the 14th of December, we'll have a plenary at 10 o'clock, which will be the consideration of the report of the Select Committee on Appropriations, the proposal division of revenue and conditional grant allocations to provinces and local government provisions, followed by a consideration of the second adjustment appropriation bill. And then also we'll have then, that will be the last day of the fourth term on the 14th of December, which will be followed by farewell speeches. Then Chairperson, the constituency period for the National Council of Provinces will be from the 15th to the 24th of December. And the leave period will be from the 27th of December to the 28th of January 2022. That is the end of the fourth term as presented. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jadu. There we are. Is there any comment?
I would like to comment, Chair.
Yes, please. Proceed.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. The first is just to indicate that we agreed that today's sitting should be preceded by motions in the House. So members should not be surprised to find the order paper that is amended. There is that agreement that is a last sitting, and we should allow parties to do motions, and then we'll have a debate. That's the first that I want to correct, Chair. The second one is just the wording that will be applicable when we come back on the topic for ministerial briefing on the economic and fiscal impact. Obviously, the word recent should by that time we should amend that so that obviously it reflects that it's a July social unrest, destruction of property, and many other things, but it may not be exact words to, but the recent we have to do away with. The debate was meant to be this week or next week, I believe, as recent as possible, but it will be some months later. So that amendment should be made. I'm just asking that the advocate team should consider that amendment. Thanks, Chair. Otherwise, it's a reflection of of the discussions that we had.
Any other comment before we move on?
Yes, Chairperson, the 2nd of
Dango.
November committee meetings may be a bit challenging. Some coalition partners could still be celebrating on that morning. So I think we should not have any meetings, especially DTIC, on the morning of the 2nd of November. It's one day after the elections. And they may still be counting in some areas.
Okay. Even on the second, maybe not all the results will be out as well. Okay. No, I think it's something worth noting. It should be noted. Let's see what the work that the Secretary to NCOP and those who do related type work will do. But it's noted, Honorable. Can we move to the next item? Next item is item 7. Report on select committee business and report on legislation before select committees. Honorable Nyambi.
Chairperson, my apologies. Chair,
Yeah.
my apologies. Is it Chair?
Please proceed.
And perhaps with the comment of the chief whip.
On what?
I just wanted to find out if the comment on by Honorable Tango, is it being proposed?
What we proposed in the whipari was that the first week should be dedicated to committees. Should committees want to meet on the first week, it should give space for committees that could meet. Honorable Dango is right. Committees that are not supposed to meet may not meet, but those that would want to meet, they can start meeting. I think we shifted the program that effectively the second week will be more practicable. So it's just to create space for committees in an event committees would want to utilize that space. And I think it would be better just to leave it as such so that we don't tire ourselves of not meeting when the need arises. Thanks.
I think it's best left like that.
Yes.
Because it's you see, we can't come up with an argument that says parties will be celebrating, etc., etc. And therefore Parliament could have its meetings and etc., etc. And I think it's point that Honorable Dango is making is noted. That's how we should conclude it. It's noted, and then we'll take it from there. The explanation by the Chief Whip is also very useful, just from the point of view of saying, some committees actually may have urgent matters to attend to, blah, blah, blah. But let's note all the comments. All of them are relevant. All of them have some meaning of some kind. Yeah, so we note what has been said. I know, advocate, it may not sound very legal and so on, but yeah, we note what has been said and we take it from there. Can we move on, Chief Whip?
Thanks, Chair. Yes, agreed.
Yes, thank you very much. Let's move on to Honorable Nyambi.
Well, thank you, Chair. Greetings to your good self, to Mayor Lucas, Mayor Ngwenya, Chief Whip, colleagues. This period, Chair, must rank as the most challenging dispensation in the management of the program of the NCOP and indeed business of committees. It has also displayed our ability to adapt to new demands, just as we have done as we grappled with the ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hence the discussion now about the program, and you have summarized it correct, Chair. We are managing committee programs with some limited communication to those committees who have been approved to undertake oversight visits in the coming weeks. This approval have been revoked as we seek to align committee work with the need to free some space for members to engage in constituency work ahead of the local government elections, that is on the 1st of November, as outlined by Honorable Njandu. We will, at the termination of this meeting, Chair, today, issue a broad statement to all committees, especially as we prepare for the fourth and final term as correctly presented, and we have agreed about it. When coming to the issue of interventions, Chair, the Select Committee on COGTA is processing a total of 14 notices of interventions in terms of Section 139 and various subcommittees, extension of interventions and progress reports in various municipalities. This is up by one from the last report, which we presented in the programming committee. A few of these interventions will expire during the conference period, with others being at various stages of completion. When it comes to international agreements, Chair, the Select Committee on Security and Justice is dealing with 4 international agreements, which is one up from the 3 that we had previously reported on. The first one is the ratification of the agreement between the Republic of India, the Federation of the Republic of Brazil, and the Republic of South Africa on the IPSA Fund. The second one is the Africa Charter on the statistics table in terms of Section 231, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The third one is the International Convention and the Suppression of Punishment of the Crime of Apartheid, adopted by the General Assembly of the United Nations on the 30th of November 1973, table in terms of Section 231, subsection 2 of the Constitution. The fourth, which is the last one, Chair, is the accession to the amended convention for the protection, management, and development of the marine and coastal environment of the Western Indian Ocean in terms of Section 231, subsection 2 of the Constitution. When it comes to petitions and undertakings, Chair and honorable members, there are 16 executive undertakings before the Select Committee on Petitions and Executive Undertakings. 12 of these undertakings were referred to the committee in the current year, with the balance of 4 having been referred last year. Other matters before the committees, there are currently 11 other matters, 2 up from the previous reporting period, which are being considered by different committees. Some of these matters have finishing dates, while others still have to be allocated finishing dates. The Select Committee on COGTA accounts for a majority of the matters, which are as follows. Starting with the Select Committee on COGTA, it's 4 matters. The Select Committee Transport, Public Service and Administration, Public Works and Infrastructure, 1 matter. Select Committee on Health and Social Services, 1 matter. Select Committee on Security and Justice, 3 matters. Select Committee on Finance, 1 matter. Select Committee on Appropriation, 1 matter. Suffice to add, Chair, out of your remarks about the first week of November, as presented by Honorable Njandu, that indeed Chief Whip is assisted a lot in making sure that you make that provision, even though it might not be practically
I think
possible.
we've lost you, Nyambi. You can try again.
Chair, can you hear me now? Chair?
We can hear you.
It seems as if it's only the chair. Okay, I was explaining, Chair, that having the program as presented by Honorable Jandu about the first month of November allocated to committees. Of course, the first 2-3 days or probably the entire week might be problematic, but it's correct to have it reflected as such because we do have some dates for other things, but it might not be practically possible. And let's leave it as we have agreed. I so table the report, Chair. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chairperson.
Deputy Chair, are you there? The chair seems to be having connectivity challenges. Okay.
I'm still available.
House Chair, yeah, do what you are supposed to do when the chair is connected.
Okay.
Thank
Chair,
you very
I am
much.
back.
No, I'm back. I'm back. Chief Whip, what are you doing? Okay. No, if there are no comments, then let's move on to Parliament Legislative Program. Mr. Bell and the team.
Thank you, Chairperson. With your permission, I would like to just briefly refer to the highlighted items on the bills before Parliament document. If you look at paragraph A, items 2, item 5, and item 7, employment equity, compensation for occupational injuries, and criminal procedure. Those 3 bills will be or are scheduled to be passed by the National Assembly and will be transmitted to NCOP for concurrence today and tomorrow. Items 3 and 4 are 2 justice bills dealing with gender-based violence, which the NCOP has passed subject to proposed amendments. The Portfolio Committee on Justice has adopted those amendments, and the bills are scheduled to be passed tomorrow and will then be sent to the President for assent. Item 6 is a private member's bill that was moved to the order paper after 5 August. But I don't think that bill will be proceeded with because the motion of desirability was rejected. Chairperson, then moving on to paragraph B on the second page, you'll see the last 3 items represent bills introduced since 5 August. That's items number 33, 34, and 35. Agricultural Product Standards Amendment Bill, Public Administration Laws General Amendment Bill, and the second Special Appropriation Bill. Lastly, Chair, under paragraph D, the last item is the Financial Sector Laws Amendment Bill. That bill was passed by the National Assembly on Tuesday and has been submitted to the NCOP for concurrence and has been referred to the Select Committee on Finance. Thank you, sir.
So there we are, the Financial Sector Laws Amendment Bill passed by NA and referred to NCOP. Okay, there we are. Are there any comments on the bills before Parliament? Any comments? None. Thank you very much. So the bills are noted and we will be kept informed about development and stages, where they are and what's likely to happen to them and so on. But we'll be kept updated. Thank you, Mr. Bell and your team. If there are no other comments, no other urgent issues that the chief may like to raise and so on, we will move towards closing the meeting. Yeah. Thank you very much. The meeting is declared closed until we meet again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Chairperson.
Oh, thank you very much, Bibi,
Okay, we'll see
Gadu,
you.
and the team.
See you in the afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, Mama.
Bibi, you are right, Mama. In the
Bye-bye.
afternoon, we have an appointment.
Yes, we soldier on. Bye-bye. We
Yeah.
soldier
Wow.
on.
Mama.
Yes, so bye-bye.
Recording stopped.